Shore Home High School Hoops, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, brings us to the hearts of Raleigh for a late-season Cap 6 conference matchup between the Athens Drive Jaguars and the Pride of Leesville Road. Good evening once again, everybody, and welcome to Athens Drive High School. Alongside former ECU standout Jay Sohnhalter, Patrick Keenis with you. Jay, we're in the final week of the high school regular season. Athens Drive sitting 6-1 in league play. Conference game of the year on Tuesday as they take on Gibbons, but trying not to overlook Leesville Pride, who gave them a very nice game a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, this is a big one, and this is the time of year when you want to be surging. And Athens is playing hot right now. They're doing a good job on both ends of the court, and Leesville presents a lot of challenges. This is a young team that's playing as well, really growing throughout the season.
All right, another young team like we saw last week for Leesville Road. They're starting a freshman, several other underclassmen. Who are some of the key players you're watching?
Ellie Cronin's been outstanding. She's only a sophomore, 6 feet tall. She can do it on both ends. On the defensive end, she's great on the glass, really physical player down in the paint. Over on offense, she's got a nice shooting touch, a lot of responsibility on her plate for the Pride. Over for Athens Drive, one of the top point guards in the area is Paris Webster. She can do it all. Drive and dish, drive and finish. She can step out, shoot a three-point shot. Outstanding as well on the defensive side. And for her, it's her leadership skills that really impresses Allie Stevenson.
All right, the Pride 5-14 overall. Athens Drive 15-6. What are the keys for Leesville Road?
Well, they got to win on the boards. The Pride has to be physical, and then they need to take good shots tonight. No empty possessions. Over Athens Drive, getting back in transition defense, limiting easy opportunities, and then no foul trouble. This isn't a deep Jaguar team. They have to make sure they're fresh, and also they don't get into trouble in the second half of the foul situation.
All right, tight loss a couple of weeks ago for the Pride. Fully healthy for the first time in weeks. Tip-off, Leesville Road, Athens Drive. High school hopes from Raleigh when we return. Back inside historic Athens Drive High School in Raleigh, North Carolina. West Shore Home High School Hoops, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. And they've come out in full force tonight. It's a big one in the Cap 6, and there is a look at the fifth-year head coach, Allison Stevenson. 73 wins in her career, 20 victories last year for the Jaguars, finished 8-2 in league play. And there's Chris Dannyhauer, former head coach right here at Athens Drive, and now in his second season leading the Pride. Athens Drive in the home whites, Leesville Road in the traveling blues, trimmed in green. And these teams met a couple of weeks ago. It was an 11-point win for Athens Drive.
Oh, tonight early on, we're going to see Leesville change up their defenses, starting out in a zone. They'll go back and forth, man-to-man as well, and we'll see pressure from them, full court style.
Three-pointer miss by Layla Forte to open things up, and here come the Pride as we take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you by West Shore Home here. And you get a look at Leesville Road, and Sammy Ward, freshman, averaging 10 points a game, only double-figure score on the squad in her first year.
Yeah, she's been great, and again, a very young team that's continuing to develop a lot of young players that are going to have bright futures for the Pride.
And meanwhile, for Athens Drive, a couple in double figures. Paris Webster featured in the open at 14 points, and Layla Forte wearing number 1 at 11 per. Those are your West Shore Home starters. Convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. Minute gone by opening quarter. Athens Drive 15-6 overall, 6-1 in the Cap 6. Cardinal Gibbons, the only undefeated team in the league. They will take on Athens Drive on Tuesday as we enter the final full week of the regular season. Leesville Road 2-5 in the conference, just 5-14, but a very young team.
Yeah, in this zone defense, they're trying to slow down the pace of Athens Drive that can get out on the run. Still trying to decipher this defensive look. A little bit of confusion. I think it's going to be key here to get the ball inside to Ramatu Diaby and to let her distribute or take it to the hole.
They forced a couple of perimeter jumpers from Forte, and now they force a turnover. And here come the Pride on the run. This is the freshman Sammy Ward. Holds the pivot foot. Locates an open Sammy. They play it out inside Balogun. And here's Ward. Dumps it to the bottom of the paint, broke out nicely, and a turnover committed by the Pride. Now in transition, they get back in the zone defense. Pass tipped away by Ward. There's the lead pass, and the layup is good. The first points of the game to Molly Zuberg and the Pride.
An excellent job from Ward there, getting the turnover immediately. She looked up. Zuberg was streaking down the floor. It's a nice job of getting easy bucket out in transition.
This has been a Leesville squad most of the year, particularly in conference play. They've struggled to score consistently offensively. It appeared for them to get off to a good start. So far, so good, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, and one of the focuses is the rebounding aspect. And Leesville doing a nice job boxing out and getting on the boards.
Shilliday, number 4, will fire a 3. In and out. Loose ball rebound. 2 Jaguars connected and lost it. It's out of bounds, still with Leesville Road.
Down low, battling for this ball. 2 Jaguars going up. That was Diaby as well. This ball kind of ricochets over to Leesville's possession.
Shilliday off the heel with a 3. And now it's the Jaguars in transition. Forte, one of the seniors. It's the trailer Webster.
Leesville got back in transition defense. Something that they've been really working on and knew they had to do tonight against the Jaguars that's looking to push the pace.
This is a 3, side of the rim from Webster. And the Pride grab another defensive rebound. Sammy Ward, little space to the hole. Makes it 4-0 for the Pride. And early timeout taken by the 6-1 Jaguars. First 4 to the road squad, Leesville Road. 3.5 minutes in, up by 4 at Athens. Jaguar fans fired up on a fairly chilly Friday night in Raleigh. Cameraman Larry knows how to get the student section worked up, does he not?
Some of those kids aren't wearing jackets. What's with that?
Early timeout by Allison Stevenson and trying to figure out a better way to attack this Leesville Road defense. A second crack and third crack will drop in by Torrin and a foul. First time that we see the Jaguars get to the offensive glass.
Well, excellent job battling for the loose ball off the boards. 2 offensive boards from Torrin. Just continues to fight. She reads it off the rim, and here she is just going to work, gets the contact, is able to focus for the end one.
Foul on Shilliday, free throw missed. Another crack though for Athens, driving another foul on the inside as Torrin was breaking down the paint again. And that'll be a foul on Cronin, her first.
Well, down low with Diaby and Torrin, that's a really good forward center tandem for Athens. They've got to go down to those 2, play inside out. Very talented players. Torrin only a sophomore, Diaby a senior. She's leading the state with over 4 shots blocked per game, 5 rebounds, dominant down in the paint.
1 of 2 from the NC 529 free throw line. Never too late or too early to start saving for education. Pass tipped away, still gets through though to Sammy Ward. 4-3 lead for Leesville Road. Quick on the dribble is Ward, she'll draw a lot of attention. Zuberg, yes. 5 of the 7 for the Pride for Molly Zuberg, a sophomore.
And she's got excellent range, stepped out. Good job spreading out the defense. Her feet were set, ready to shoot it.
Talk it out NC 3-pointer from Molly Zuberg. Talk it out NC, start the conversation, reduce underage drinking.
Nice shot from Torrin going to the high post. She's got a really good mid-range jumper, very talented sophomore.
Breaking ahead, 2-on-1 now for the Pride. The driving layup a little short by Balogun, but she will head to the free throw line.
Early on, we see Leesville here playing his own defense, trying to slow down Athens' drive on the offensive end, but they are pushing the pace when they have the ball, looking for buckets in transition. Good job passing the ball ahead to get to the line.
Now it's Balogun, the junior, at the NC 529 free throw line, shooting a pair. Never too late or too early to start saving for education. As Leesville Road goes to the bench for the first time. Kyle Wallace, junior, averaging 6 points and 3 boards off of the bench, checks in for the Pride. Start of the year 0-6, Jay. But again, a very young team. Took a while to gain their identity and figure out where the scoring punch was coming from. They relied heavily on defense, and Chris Danny Howard really had to go down his bench. Finally now has his team at full strength, and there's Allison Stevenson, her 5th year here at Athens Drive. She played collegiately just down the road for Meredith. Math major there. Something I did not know. Pride will throw in. Sammy Ward. Back into the corner. This is Lawless. Webster corrals the rebound. And Forte misses another jumper out of that left court. And nifty dribbling there by Cronin to dodge some defenders. And throws it away. Broken up nicely by Athens Drive and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Webster.
On that last possession, you could see the quickness of Webster. She got that ball, immediately went up the court for a transition long-range shot from Forte. But each team, they've been good when they've been looking to push the pace.
That's a 3 out of the corner, misfired by Cronin. Offensive rebound to the Pride. They swing it around the perimeter again. Cronin defers on the 3. Enters the post, knocked away, and stolen by Athens Drive.
Well, a really good ball movement, the better defense from Athens Drive. Very active with their hands, communicating out on the floor, and they're in good position.
This is Mackenzie Kelly. A step back, fakes the jumper. Into the post again. That shot blocked away, but it's a lower body contact by Sammy Ward. Got the ball up top, somebody down low, and her first foul.
Well, nice entry pass to get the ball into Torrin, who was set up on the block. Mackenzie Kelly with the entry there in it. With Torrin, when she can set up with her array of moves, she can step out as well. She presents problems, and good job again playing inside out. That's the strength of Athens Drive.
That is already the 4th free throw attempted by Torrin individually. She'll have one more. The NC 529 free throw line. 7-5 lead for the Pride here on the road. And 1 of 2 for Torrin. She has all 6 for the Jaguars, trailing by 1. Full court press, broken by Leesville Road. Nice spin to the block, and that ball almost went down. Sammy Ward showing some good strength, got it to the rim, and she will head to the free throw line.
Well, outstanding agility here as she gets the ball. The defense coming over to 3 Jaguar defenders. She's able to get to the line, maintain her balance. Really good to start off this ball game.
Taylor Shepard with the foul for Athens Drive. First free throw good from Ward. 8-6 lead. There's a look at Chris Danny Howard. Spent 9 years as the head coach for Cleveland. Won 125 games there. Here with Athens Drive. Inherited a team that he won 1 game. They won 3 in his first year. And then ripped off 20 wins. And over his career, 161 before he left Athens Drive High School. Told me before the game, he doesn't have that weird feeling again coming into this gymnasium as the road head coach. He said it just feels like home to me. 3-pointer missed, and Ward just rips it right out of the hands of Torrin. Here come the Pride up by 2. Inside 2 minutes, Zuber. That's her second 3 of the quarter.
She's a sharpshooter. A good job from Ward bringing the ball up. The extra defender came over. Plenty of room for Zuber to shoot it.
Talking out NC, start the conversation. Reduce underage drinking. And a turnover by the Jaguars, starting a little bit sloppily here in the first quarter. Down by 5.
Well, the zone defense for Leesville Road is just a different look. You know, most of the time they're going to play the man-to-man defense. Coming out here, trying to really control that paint area, put all the bodies in the middle of the defense. It slowed down the pace that Athens usually plays with.
One of the proximities we'll focus on tonight, points in the paint, sponsored by NCDPS. Jay, what's happened so far?
It's been even so far, but for Leesville Road, they're getting their points on the run out in the fast break. Athens Drive, they've been having trouble getting it inside. The few times they've had success.
Sponsored by the North Carolina Department of Public Safety. Be a champion for victims. 11-6 Leesville Road lead. And this is a game Athens Drive needs. Again, they take on Gibbons on Tuesday. Gibbons at 7-0. Athens Drive at 6-1. Gibbons won the first game by 15. But if you're looking at a share of the conference regular season title, Athens Drive has to win tonight. So a win over Cardinal Gibbons would draw them level. There's a lot on the line for Allison Stevenson's Athens Drive Jaguars tonight. And that's out of bounds, and it will stay with Leesville Road. Nope, take it back. They've turned it over now to Athens Drive instead. 33 seconds left, an 11-6 lead for the Pride.
And Athens Drive has to get Paris Webster involved in the offense right now. She's done a great job distributing the basketball, but she's got to look for her shot. They've got to set something up to get her an open look.
AJ Forte and Webster combined for 25 a game. Top two leading scorers. They have not scored in this opening quarter. All six to Torrent. Turnover. Trying to run this ball down is Lawless. She will. Wing jumper short. And crashing the glass was Elliott Cronin of Leesville Road. That'll be a foul on the sophomore. That's her second of this quarter.
Ava Shepard coming in, getting the board. Good job being physical and taking that contact from behind. But she's a talented player. Allison Stevenson has a lot of high hopes for her.
Right, inside the final 10 seconds here. Kelly with the basketball in her hands. Do they know there are only 2 seconds left? Doesn't look like it. Forte sprint dribbles, runs out of time. They lost sight of how much time was left on the clock and could not get a shot off to end the opening quarter. Strong opening 8 for Leesville Road and a 5-point lead after 1. Pretty good opening quarter for Leesville Road. 5-point lead for Chris Danny Howard's Pride, 11-6. And the Athens Drive Jaguars just looked a little bit out of sorts in that opening quarter, really in all aspects. Offense, defense, and even clock management down the stretch in the opening quarter for Allison Stevenson.
Well, the key to success was the zone defense and the defensive play of Leesville Road, slowing down this offense. This is a really good group by the Jaguars. They're able to get easy buckets, but it was just no rhythm there in the first quarter. There wasn't anything easy.
Played into the high post, poked away by Lawless, and another turnover by Athens. The kick to the corner. This is Lawless. And the rebound to the Jaguars, who want to run. This is Paris Webster. Averaging 14 a game, wearing number 3, the top scorer. Nice look to the inside, the layup, though, missed by Diaby. Broke down the Leesville Road zone defense for the first time, still couldn't finish.
Well, Layla Forte can do that. She can shoot it from the long range, or she can drive a perfect pass. They just weren't able to finish.
They played Sammy Ward very tightly on the outside. Lawless steps in off the baseline. That one missed, and there's a rebound to Webster. Rips it away. Drill poked away, but regained by the Jaguars. And down the lane with an extra set. That layup flips out of there somehow by Webster. And a travel will send it the other way.
Well, we talked in the open and the keys for Leesville. Transition defense, getting back. Somehow Webster was able to break down the defense. She couldn't finish. That was a tough shot, but Leesville putting enough pressure on her to make it difficult.
And I think Allison Stevenson has noticed what we saw in the opening quarter. Just no real sense of urgency or energy, tuning things up defensively, attacking much harder on the offensive side. So the message is there, is waiting to see if the execution is.
Well, they need a spark right now, and somebody to step up, knock down a shot, and they've got to create turnovers on the defensive end. That's when they're at their best. That's when they can get out on the run.
Sammy Ward down the lane. Got to turn her back to the rim as she elevated, but she will shoot a couple of free throws here. Foul going against Mackenzie Kelly. And they roll that actually on the floor. Foul. Ward was walking to the free throw line.
Drive from Ward initially broke down the defense. The double team had to come over.
This is Ward missing a 3. Balogun the rebound. Tipped into the corner, but Shilliday has it. Ward flies to that pass. And now they will settle things down. Ward on the baseline, open room to the rim. And this time she will head to the free throw line.
For a freshman, such a smart player. She saw, recognized she had the baseline immediately with no hesitation. She took it. There's no closeout from Athens Drive. Easy access into the lane again. She has that talent to create the contact.
At the Popeyes free throw line. Love that chicken from Popeyes. 12-6 lead for Leesville Road. As Ava Creech, sophomore for the Jaguars, checks in, replacing Kelly, who has not scored. And Allison Stevenson checking with some of her star players. Hey, what's going on out here? What are we not doing? What are we not executing? This does not look like the team that she has seen for the balance of the last couple of months.
Right now, Leesville Road is able to break down this defense. There have been driving lanes where they can drive, take it all the way, or dish it to the outside. Athens Drive has to stop the ball and limit penetration.
Out of the corner, that's blocked away. Balogun, though, retrieves, digs it out of there. Hemmed in, and some physical contact on the baseline. And stepping on the end line was Balogun of Leesville Road.
Well, Athens Drive showing a lot of fight down low. There's a loose ball. You want to make sure you're the one winning it. Two defenders. Nice block initially from Torin. And here they're wrestling the ball away. Diaby comes over to help as well, and it goes to the Jaguars.
A couple minutes have gone by in the second quarter. Athens Drive has gone dry offensively for about 5 minutes of game time. All of their points belong to Torin. This is Forte. Webster snaking in and scoring nicely, elevating with his short-range jumper.
Well, outstanding job from Webster, taking it all the way, but it was Diaby that sealed off the defender that created the open path on the driving lane.
And Chris Dannyhauer calls a timeout after the made shot and the full court pressure was harassing Leesville Road. He went to talk it over. I'm trying to solve it. 12-8 lead for Leesville Road. Good coaching right there by Dannyhauer. And he called a 30-second timeout. And doesn't look like it was really granted. He's pleading with one of the officials. Quick jumper the other way by Torin. And it's 4 quick points by Athens Drive.
Well, and he's not happy because he called the timeout, thought he had it. He wanted to slow down the momentum, resulting in another bucket.
12-10 now. And the intensity really ratcheted up just like that by the Jaguars. Nearly poked away. Trying to stick with it is Zuberg, and does. And that is tipped out. But right in front of the student section is where Leesville Road right now is having a difficult time with the basketball. And now the timeout will be taken and granted. Chris Dannyhauer, he thought he called a timeout a moment ago. He's still upset. The lead for the Pride down to 2 midway through the second quarter. Tonight's halftime report brought to you by myspot.nc.gov. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find a free, safe, and effective COVID-19 vaccine for everyone 6 months and older. Patrick Keene, Jay Songhalter back inside Athens Drive High School. 12-10 lead for the Leesville Road Pride. They've led from almost the opening tip, but now they're being pressured by the Jaguars, who made a couple of shots and been able to then implement their press.
Yeah, the difference has been the defense. They've turned up the pressure, much better intensity and coming out and stopping the ball, and this is a whole different Jaguars team the last couple minutes.
Tightly played by Mackenzie Kelly. Zuberg has knocked down a couple of threes in this first half. Nowhere to go. Kills the dribble and gets it to Sammy Ward. A very poised freshman here in the triangle. That pass tipped away nicely by Diaby. Controls and runs the other way. Into the paint, scoops it up, no. And it's tipped into the sideline, and it will go the other way. Very well defended after the Diaby steal.
Well, great job getting back and hustling by the Pride to make it difficult. But how about that steal from Diaby? It was a pick and roll. She read it with her length and athleticism. She's able to jump into the passing lane and get that ball on the fast break.
And even now with the dead ball, full court, out of bounds play. Here's the pressure again by the Jaguars. Broken nicely. Balogun into the hole. Big mismatch there. That would have counted. And it'll be Creech collecting the foul, sending Balogun to the line.
Nice job recognizing she had a path to get to the hoop, and she takes it. Again, Leesville Road passing it up the court, looking to push the pace. Athens Drive with that press. There's only one defender there in the front court. Balogun gets to the line.
And she has missed all 3 from the Popeyes free throw line. Popeyes love that chicken from Popeyes. That is a perfect example why Chris Dannyhauer was so upset that his 30-second timeout a couple of plays ago was not granted, because he wanted to draw up and instruct his squad how to really attack hard that full court pressure. It led to a 2-on-1 fast break opportunity out of it after he finally had an opportunity to check.
And he could feel the momentum shifting, and perfect time to call a timeout. He didn't get it, and he was not pleased because Athens immediately went up for another bucket.
A couple of free throws missed by Balogun. The lead still 2 for Leesville Road. Diaby kicks to the outside. Webster. Pass tipped, loose, and regained by the Pride. Despite all of the Jaguar turnovers, still down by just 2. But that'll be something they will need to clean up. This is Ward off with a screen, takes the 3 and knocks it out. Sammy Ward, 7 points in this first half, and gives Leesville a 5-point lead.
And great job in recognition from Ward, recognizing Balogun came up with the pick and roll. The defense fell off, double teaming her, created open area for Ward to shoot it.
Tuck it out, NC, 3-pointer. Start the conversation. Reduce underage drinking. Across the lane, the runner by Torrin is missed, and the rebound to the Pride. Leesville Road beaten by 11 points by Athens only a couple of weeks ago. Ward with the left hand will head to the free throw line.
Last 3 possessions for the Pride, pick and roll. It's been their bread and butter. Here Ward comes up, gets the pick from Balogun. The defense again creates a path. They're shading over to Balogun. She takes it with her offhand.
Second foul on Diaby. And Jay, these are now the 9th and 10th free throws for Leesville Road on the road in this first half. And that will bounce off, no good for Ward. Ward will have shot 6 of these 10. So one more at the Popeyes free throw line as Zuber gets a breather. Ten free throws attempted. They've only made 3 of them, though. The opportunity's there. Lead to 6. Biggest of this first half for the Pride. Under 3 minutes for the half. Webster finally got in the scoring column a minute ago. Looks to reverse, and the defense still holding strong by the Pride.
And they're packing it in. Good job from Leesville again, just staying connected to each other, active hands. Get another turnover.
That pass caught a leg, another turnover by the Jaguars. And the number's not really here this time for Sammy Ward. A smart move by the freshman point guard. Balogun screens off Webster, and there's a takeaway by Athens drive. Shepard, Webster knocked off of the play and fouled from behind. That'll go on. If it's Cronin, that's her 3rd. It is. So Cronin, 6-foot sophomore, will sit for the balance of this second quarter, and you wonder if she will even miss a little bit of time in the 3rd.
For Athens drive here, you've got to space the floor out, try to loosen up the zone, get the ball inside of the top post, over to Torrin, drive and dish. You've got to loosen things up.
That pass just threw a lot of traffic. Shepard couldn't handle it, and yet another Athens drive turnover. Lawless weaving through, can't finish with the left. And the Athens drive comes on there with it. Webster gets it ahead to Forte, looking to get on the scoreboard. Misses the runner from short range. And numbers now for Leesville Road. Balogun ahead of the defense. Misses, gets her own rebound, and then lost it. Out of bounds to the Jaguars. And a reminder coming up, stay tuned for the myspot.nc.gov halftime report. First half highlights and more. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find a free, safe, and effective COVID-19 vaccine for everybody 6 months and older. That's coming up. Minute and a half remaining in the second quarter. 16-10, Leesville Road. Whistle blown on the approach by Mackenzie Kelly. And that'll be on Balogun. Kirsten Rivenbark, number 5, is on the floor for the first time for Leesville Road. Here's a look at her head coach, Chris Danny Hauer. This free throw by Kelly. Offensive rebound by Athens drop. Leaves Forte open. This is a 3. A little bit long. And Sammy Ward the rebound. 2-on-1. Speeding ahead, attacking Webster. Strong with the leb, follows her own miss and scores.
That's what you got to do when you're speeding down the court. If you miss it, continue to stay with it. Athens drive, not able to get back to crash the glass.
10 of the 18 for Leesville Road to the freshman Ward. Here's Webster. Balogun rebounds the miss. And Leesville Road, that ball springs loose with 40 seconds left. They could have held for the last shot of the half. Points to paint, 6-6 this opening half. That one knocked down. That's not in the paint. That's a perimeter three-pointer. First three-point make of the half for Athens drive. That one by Kelly.
And that's what you got to do, hit the long-range shot to loosen up the zone defense.
20 seconds left. And the Pride with a 5-point road lead will try to hold for the last shot. 10 seconds. Ward got fouled. Almost threw that one in blindly on the baseline. And back to the free throw line for Sammy Ward for their 7th and 8th cracks in this first half.
She has that innate ability with her decision making, whether to dish it off to her teammates or take the drive. And she held on to the ball and again gets to the line. She knows how to draw contact.
First one knocked down by Ward. And again, a reminder, tonight's halftime report brought to you by myspot.nc.gov. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find a free, safe, and effective COVID-19 vaccine for everybody 6 months old and older. A couple of free throws by Ward. 7-point lead now for the Pride. And Ward will get her first breather of the game with 7.6 left in the first half. A little light pressure in the backcourt by Lawless. Here's Webster. Speeds ahead, takes her one-on-one. Balogun over to help, the ball knocked loose. And that will end a very productive first 16 minutes for Leesville Road. Led by that freshman, Sammy Ward. Finishing the first half, Ward with 12 of Leesville Road's 20 and a 7-point lead in the break on the road at Athens Drive. Stay tuned, we'll have the myspot.nc.gov halftime report next. You're watching the myspot.nc.gov high school hoops halftime report. It is Leesville Road traveling to Athens Drive with a 7-point halftime lead, 20-13. Right now, time for the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athletes of the Week.
Tatum and Atkinson is proud to present the WRDC Sports High School Hoops Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week from Leesville High School. The Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week is Peyton Gable. Peyton is a 3-year letter winner in basketball and soccer and carries a 4.0 GPA. Peyton is a member of National Honor Society and Pride Players Club. Peyton volunteers with Saving Grace Animal Rescue, North Carolina Food Bank, Wake Med Health and Hospital, Wake County Animal Center, and Wake Football Club tournaments. From Athens Drive High School, Summer Lasky. Summer is indoor and outdoor track team captain and MVP and carries a 4.31 GPA. Summer is a board member of National Honor Society and a member of National Technical Honor Society. Summer is also a 4-time Athens Achiever and the student representative on the school improvement team. Summer has committed to the Davidson College track and field team for pole vaulting.
Tatum and Atkinson is proud to be a sponsor of the Scholar Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to these All-Stars and good luck on your eligibility for a $3,000 scholarship at the end of the season.
Tatum and Atkinson, injured in a wreck? Call the heavy hitters.
You're watching the myspot.nc.gov high school hoops halftime report. 20-13 lead for Leesville Road over the Jaguars of Athens Drive. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find a free, safe, and effective COVID-19 vaccine for everyone 6 months and older. As we continue our halftime report, we'll sit down with Jacob Wirtz, sales manager of West Shore Home.
I'm here with Jake Wirtz, the sales manager for West Shore Home. Welcome, Jake.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Why is it important for West Shore Home to partner with high school hoops?
Well, I think it goes in line with our core values of getting better every day. So throughout the season here, we're going to see all these student athletes, cheerleaders, even the parents themselves are going to be able to see their kids get better every day, and that goes in line with what West Shore is all about.
And why is it important for West Shore Home to be involved in the community?
A community is everything for us. In our eyes, you can't just be a company that goes out to people's houses and estimate projects. It's all about being embedded with the community. For instance, we just did a food drive to help the needy. We do other things throughout the year, Bass for the Braves, such things like that. It just kind of gives back to the community.
We really appreciate you being part of High School Hoops, and thank you so much for joining me today.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens this year.
It's going to be a great season, won't it?
I think so. Basketball is awesome.
You're watching the myspot.nc.gov High School Hoops halftime report. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find a free, safe, and effective COVID-19 vaccine for everybody 6 months and older. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sonhalter. Halftime lead belongs to Leesville Road, 20-13, and a bit of a surprise. Take a look at the first half highlights.
Well, a big part of this first half was fast break opportunities for Leesville and their outstanding zone defense they were playing. They came out early on. They were hot from the outside. Zuberg hit a couple big threes. Then Sammy Ward was the one leading the pace. The catalyst with the ball in her hand, she was making good decisions.
12 points for Sammy Ward and a couple of threes by Zuberg. That accounts for almost the entire Pride offense.
The focus areas for them were winning on the boards and getting back in transition defense. The Pride did a nice job in both areas, but for Athens Drive, you're only down by 7. You are still trying to decipher this zone defense you were facing, trying to figure out scoring opportunities. In the second quarter, they started to get it going.
The Jaguars with Forte and Webster averaging 25 points a game combined, limited to only 2 as we take a look at first half stats.
So that's the key for the Jaguars. You got to get your top scorers involved, get them going here, and get back to the normal pace that they play with, trying to get out on the run.
Well, the big one coming up on Tuesday for the Jaguars, maybe for a conference share of the title, diluted if they don't come back and win tonight. Down by 7 at the break. About ready to begin this third quarter from Athens Drive. Leesville Road with a 7-point lead. And Jay, am I the only one who didn't want halftime to end? You talk about the mix master of music. The Weeknd, Dua Lipa, Justin Timberlake, Queen, all wrapped in to a power-packed halftime here at Athens Drive. I'm sorry, we have to start the third quarter.
Who's the DJ over there? They're doing a good job.
Loving this. Leesville Road and the Dark Road uniforms up by 7. Third quarter underway. Again, only 5-14 this year for Leesville Road, but Chris Danny Howard told us before the game he really is fully healthy with all of his key contributors for the first time in months tonight.
So that's been important for them here towards the end of the season. A young team that's improving, that's getting healthy. And it's really culminated here tonight. They're confident coming out, playing aggressive, did a really good job there in the first half.
You don't want to have those unforced turnovers on the road when you're the underdog, but they get it right back on another turnover committed by Athens Drive, and be curious to see how Allison Stevenson addresses that. Was their biggest Achilles heel in the first 16 minutes.
Well, now Athens Drive coming out with the adjustment, the zone press here to start the third quarter.
And the count is on, and Ward breaks it. 12 points in the first half for Sammy Ward. The freshman in the dark uniform and the green shoes, and it's an offensive foul on an illegal screen set by Balogun.
On Athens Drive changing up their looks, 2 turnovers on the first 2 possessions. There's Forte, a really good defender. There's the foul going against the Pride.
And that's Balogun's 3rd foul. Webster tried to make a diagonal pass that caught the leg of Ward. Fortunate to have the Jaguars keep possession. And again, Forte did not score in the first half. Webster had only 2, and there's another takeaway by the Pride.
Shilliday read the eyes, jumped in the passing lane to get the turnover.
Have not yet had a shot attempt in this third quarter. 2 turnovers apiece.
On that last possession, really good communication. It was Shilliday, Balogun, and Rivenbark down on the baseline, talking to each other, rotating in that zone defense.
And Balogun does stay on the floor with 3 fouls. Diaby defending her. And now we see the Jaguars play tighter man-to-man. That springs out of the hands of Sammy Ward, but was knocked out last touch by Athens. Zuberg It's Balogun back to Zuberg. 8 points the first half. Ward on the handoff. Puts a high arcing shot over Diaby. A little short, but there's the stick back. So Balogun with her first points of the game, and it's a 9-point lead now for Leesville Road.
Balogun's been really good reading the ball off the rim, getting herself in position. Clean up the board, and she finishes.
Trust from Danny Howard to keep her on the floor. That's why she's a big presence on the glass, both offensively and defensively. Trust her not to pick up her fourth foul. That is short from Forte. Offensive rebound to Athens drive. Down by 9. Open look, Kelly. That won't go, and Balogun cleans up the miss. Leesville Road looking for a double-digit lead here at Athens in the third quarter. Check foul out near midcourt. This one charged against Mackenzie Kelly.
She's the best defender for the Jaguars. Try to shut you down. She comes out there into the face. Initially, Ward kind of pushed that hand check off of her. She placed it back on the hip and got the call.
And here for Allison Stevenson Jaguars. Down by 9 at home. Big game, especially with Cardinal Gibbons looming on Tuesday. You rely on your seniors, starting 3 seniors, to not panic at this stage. Now they force a turnover, and here's an opportunity for one of those seniors. Webster gets fouled, and the bucket, and that could be the catalyst for Athens Drive.
Well, and Athens Drive is still trying to figure out the zone defense, but you don't have to figure out a zone defense when you get a turnover and a fast break. And that's got to be how Athens Drive comes back in this ball. And they've got to turn up the pressure on the defensive end, create turnovers so they can get over on the run.
2 mistakes right there for Leesville Road as way ahead of the NC 529 free throw line. Never too late or too early to start saving for education. Issue number 1 was the turnover. Issue number 2 was trying to run down and block the shot. Just concede the layup. Don't surrender the free throw and give Athens Drive any more momentum. 22-16. This is a long 3 missed by Zuberg. Saved inbounds, but right to Athens Drive, and they want to run. Here comes Kelly with numbers. Kelly, deep 3. And the rebound to Ward. Out ahead of everybody is Molly Zuberg. Pump fake, and then lost it. Pocket picked by Kelly.
And Kelly stayed on the ground, didn't go for the shot fake.
And the runner by Webster rims off. Grabs a rebound on the back. And here comes Leesville Road as the ball popped out of there. Ward thinking about a 1-on-2. Good decision there. Zuberg had the 3-pointer nearly blocked from behind. One line but long, and Kelly the rebound. And the tempo really picking up the last couple of minutes. Still though, 6-point lead. Forte still can't knock one down, and a whistle blowing on the shot attempts. And it's going to be a foul going against Torin of Athens Drive off the ball. That's her first.
Conditioning is going to be important once each team gets into the fourth quarter. This is fast paced, and here's the battle down low for the ball. Call goes against Athens Drive.
Still a 6-point lead for Leesville Road. Diving after that ball to knock it loose as Webster forces a tie-up. Arrow will keep it with the pride. But that's as good as a turnover because now the arrow flips the other way to Athens Drive. Starts with defense. That's what Allison Stevenson knows first and foremost. A takeaway and then thrown right back to Leesville Road and then thrown over the end line.
Well, each side,
too much of a hurry right there.
Yeah, each side just has to slow down a little bit. Protect the basketball. That's got to be the area during this timeout each coach talks about. Let's protect the basketball.
Chris Danny wants a timeout. Still a 6-point lead, but it feels tighter midway through the third. Leesville Road 22, Athens Drive 16. Scholar Athlete brought to you by Tatum and Atkinson. Injured in a car wreck? Call the heavy hitters. Midway mark, quarter number 3 in Raleigh. Athens Drive 6-1 in the Cap 6. Take on unbeaten Cardinal Gibbons on Tuesday. Maybe for a share of the Cap 6 title, but they're down by 6 at home. This is Layla Forte finally knocking down her first jumper of the game. A big three to make it a one-possession game.
She's the best three-point shooter for Athens Drive. She's been aggressive. Good for her that one goes down.
Talk it out, NC, three-pointer. Talk it out, NC. Start the conversation. Reduce underage drinking. Now we'll see how the very youthful Leesville Road Pride handle the pressure applied. Webster the takeaway, weaving through, misses the layup. Forte tries to gather, saves into the corner to Torrin. This is for the tie off the top of the glass. With hands on basketballs and on passes. That just springs loose right beneath the rim, and a foul on Leesville Road. And the pressure from the Jaguars coming in waves.
It just seemed like the Jaguars erupted out of that timeout. A new energy fighting for the ball. Forte knocks down a three, then regains the possession to get to the line here. Good job turning up the pressure.
So here's Layla Forte, one of the starting seniors, scoreless in the first half. She has scored the last 4 for the Jaguars in the last minutes. And one more coming from the NC 529 free throw line. Never too late or too early to start saving for education. Makes them both. A 22-21 lead for Leesville Road. They've led almost the entire game. Pressure again. Oh, and Allison Stevenson, she is loving the impact of this full court press. Didn't force a turnover there, but it's made life pretty challenging here for Ward and the Pride. They rolled around the perimeter. There's a big one from Lawless, her first points.
Huge. The Pride needed that. Momentum shifted over to the Jaguars.
25-21. Pride by 4. Diaby looked like she injured herself as that ball was on that side of the floor. She's hobbling in the paint in number 20 in white for Athens Drive. She's favoring that right leg. Forte looking for on the block anyway. Pass batted away and stolen by the Pride. Ward in the lane. Oh, she doesn't appear hurt anymore. Big block by Diaby.
Number 1 in the state, shot blocks.
Takes the pass on the inside, twisting the hole, misses. Torrin with the offensive rebound. Under 2 minutes for the third. Looking for Diaby again, and a 3-second violation. Turnover, Athens Drive. And Diaby now will get a break on the bench again. She was favoring that right leg. Got involved in that last play, forgot about the injury, sprinted down the floor, blocked the play again. She's feeling that right knee right there, but big impact.
A special ability to block shots, athleticism, long arms, perfect timing.
Pride ball up 4. Athens Drive had cut a 9-point deficit to 1, but has not had the lead. Here's Ward, dribble poked away. Here's a shot coming up for Athens Drive on a 2-on-1. Webster bounces it ahead to Creech. That partially blocked, saved, and then tipped into the corner, and Ward the steal. And here's Leesville Road wanting to push the tempo up ahead. Ward left open, this is a 3. Rims off. Tough rebound there by Shepard.
Now the pace finally slows down. Back and forth there a few times.
1 minute left in the third. This has been a grinder. Just marred by turnovers, but very competitive now. Flashing high post, Shepard. Off balance shot. And here's Ward the other way. Needing to stop the ball, steps through it, second defender, lays it in beautifully with the right hand. 14 points now for the freshman Sammy Ward.
Unbelievable effort. She just created her way, shielded off the defender with the left hand. Then when the extra defender came up, somehow slid inside for an open 2.
And the points in the paint, 8 apiece. Brought to you by the NCDPS as we get a timeout with 21 seconds left in this third quarter. North Carolina Department of Public Safety, be a champion for victims. Possessions right now at a premium, Jay, still final moments here of this third quarter, but with all the turnovers we have seen, you need to take advantage, set up plays, any opportunity you get, especially when you're down by 6.
Right, and for Athens drive, you've got a 6-point deficit, plenty of time, but again, you've got to be able to create some of this defensive pressure, lead it into turnovers on the offensive end, protect the basketball. I mean, that's got to be the focus during this timeout break. A couple substitutions coming into the ball game, but your best players have to take shots here to close out the ball game. They've got to be aggressive.
Yeah, remember back at the end of the second quarter, this might be another reason why Allison Stevenson called a timeout. They lost track of what time was left in the clock as that second quarter wound down. They didn't get a shot off. You can't afford those mental mistakes now, down by 6. So we'll see what play they run as we tick inside 15 seconds for the third quarter. Out it comes to Webster. Space to maneuver. Diaby sets the screen. Webster down the paint. Runner, yes! Draws the foul and cuts it to 4 with 6 seconds left in the third.
Your best player here can break down the defense. Start off on the right side, crossover dribble, then fearless into the paint with the contact. And that's what you need as you close out this quarter. A big play to get some momentum.
I mean, you are drawing up your best play right there. Allison Stevenson did it. The execution by Webster also led to the 4th foul on Cronin. Free throw missed, and the ball knocked out of bounds. Stays with the Pride with 2.4. Boy, love to see good coaches in this area put their players in the position to win. And that was a game-winning timeout called by Allison Stevenson. And stepping on the sideline right there was Leesville Road's Rivenbark, and it's out of bounds with 1.2, but triggering deep in the backcourt, Athens drop. So here's Webster from behind midcourt. This will count. It's off target. And we are at the end of 3. Leesville Road with only 2 conference wins, led by 7 at the break, upped it to 9. It was trimmed to 1. They lead by 4, heading to the 4th. Ready for fourth quarter action from Athens Drive High School. So much on the line for the Jaguars, down by 4, 27-23. A date with Cardinal Gibbons, the only unbeaten in the Cap 6 on Tuesday. But they are trailing to Leesville Road by 4 as we enter the last 8 minutes. But the signs of progress were there for the Jaguars in that third quarter, but credit to Leesville Road. They maintained their composure and did it defensively, maintain the lead. As Forte misses a jumper in the lane, offensive rebound, and a travel. Kelly really never had her feet underneath her. And it's over to Leesville Road.
Well, Athens Drive just hasn't been able to get into sync tonight, and you have to give the credit over to Leesville. This zone defense has been good. They've been active, communicating, jumping in passing lanes.
And the pressure still applied by the Jaguars. Sammy Ward breaks it. Zubird. Dumps it into Balogun, pivoting around, and a foul on the floor will go on Athens Drive. Balogun out there playing with 3 fouls. Cronin on the bench for Leesville Road, at least for now, with 4 fouls. I have to imagine for Chris Dannyhauer during the timeout between the third and fourth quarter, protect the basketball, don't turn it over, give yourselves a chance to win. I think that's got to be the big target in this final 8 minutes for him.
And for both teams, I mean, it's the turnover battle. Whichever team wins this game is going to be the team that protects the ball the best and takes good shots, no empty possessions.
14 points for Sammy Ward, she will throw in. Into Balogun. And back in the hands of Ward. Contact, no whistle, and Ward rims it short, and it's out of bounds going to Athens Drive.
Well, that ball looked like it went off of Athens Drive. Kristen Rivenbark had position, a good job setting up down low, reading the ball off the rim. They didn't get the call.
Well, the seniors of Athens Drive in the starting lineup Began to kind of heat up in that third quarter. Forte scored 4, Webster scored 5 in that third quarter. So 9 points of their 10 in that third came from those two. They will need those two if Allison Stevenson Jaguars is going to come back and win this one.
Rivenbark and Balogun really set up that double team down on the baseline, sealing it off to create the turnover. Really good effort.
3 defenders in the backcourt for Athens Drive. Scoreless fourth quarter thus far. Pressure broken. Cronin back in the floor with 4 fouls, fumbles it away. And here comes Webster and Athens Drive. 2-on-2. Webster with Forte. Finds her on the baseline. Yes. 2-point deficit facing the Jaguars. Forte started to heat up.
It's such a good shooter. Smooth, 6'1", such a talented player.
27-25. The calming force for Leesville Road has been when number 2, Sammy Ward, has had the basketball in her hands. That's tipped away. It looked like Lawless was waiting for that to land out of bounds to retain possession, but battling and battling for it. And as Athens Drive gets the basketball and a timeout called. 6:04 left in the fourth. So a timeout in Raleigh. Athens Drive trying to come back from 9 down to set up their big matchup on Tuesday with Gibbons. 27-25, Leesville Road. (27-25) is the lead for Leesville Road, trying to hang on. Meanwhile, there's a look at Paris Webster, who looks to be dealing with some cramping issues here in this second half, and she will start out of this timeout back on the bench and throw down some water, some Powerade. Webster has 7 points, second leading scorer on the Jaguars tonight. So Mackenzie Kelly will run the offense here. And Creech is on the floor replacing Webster for the moment. There's a foul right in front of the Athens Drive bench, to the applause of Allison Stevenson. Second foul on Shilliday.
There's the initial pressure, man-to-man defense.
Touch to the high post, the kick out. This is Forte for the lead. In and out. Rebound Balogun. Well, for Leesville Road again, 2-5 in league play. There are only 2 wins over Sanderson and Enlow. Those teams have combined to go 1-13 in conference play. This would be a banner win for them if they can nail it down. And to the free throw line will head Sammy Ward. And we've seen, Jay, when you have young teams, they look a whole lot different in December than they do in early February, heading to the postseason. A lot of growth with this Pride squad.
And it can be game by game, week by week, and this group has changed a lot, and their coaching staff has been pleased. They've been patient. You can really see all their hard work come to fruition with how they're playing tonight. I've been impressed with their effort on both ends of the court, but especially the defensive end. That's where they've really shown their intensity tonight.
Now, this is the 10th free throw of the game for Sammy Ward, the freshman from Leesville Road. One more from the Popeyes free throw line. Makes 1 of 2. Balogun kept the rebound alive, and Diabe pries it away. Lead is 3 for Leesville Road. And Webster, number 3, back in the floor for Athens Drive. Forte, good fake out of the corner. Throws to Diabe, missed it. And Ward tracks it down and gets tied up immediately. And the arrow will head the other way to Leesville Road. 28-25, Pride leading. 3 minutes have gone by in this fourth quarter. And so far in this fourth quarter, Leesville Road has protected the basketball as much as they have needed to break the pressure and potentially nail down a big win until now. Batted like a volleyball. Kelly the steal and makes the layup to cut it to 1.
Paris Webster created the pressure. That's what led to Kelly jumping in front of the passing lane. Athens Drive setting up their press again.
She just batted that pass with both hands. There's another turnover. Kelly again for the lead. Timeout, Leesville Road. Mackenzie Kelly, back-to-back plays at the top portion of the defense for Athens Drive. 2 steals, 2 layups, and a 9-point deficit has been erased by Athens Drive.
For Athens Drive, Webster, the havoc. Kelly read it, goes in for an easy 2. And next possession, same thing. Forte with the pressure. Kelly takes her time, finishes. The momentum's on Athens Drive's side, and the bench erupted. The timeout was called, and that's a fun huddle to be in right now. The Jaguars have turned it on. It's because of that press, and Leesville's going to have to find an answer. They've been the team to turn the ball over where they protected it the majority of the game.
I'm always asked, is there such a thing as a broadcaster's jinx? In my time with the Durham Bulls and some other national events that I've done, Chris Danihauer, I'm sure, is going to ask me, hey, what about that broadcaster's jinx? Because it applies now to women's basketball at the high school level. Because just as I was talking about how well they were taking care of the basketball in the 4th quarter to win on the road, 2 turnovers, 2 fast break layups in the span of 20 seconds, the lead is gone.
Well, what can you do, Patrick?
Apologies.
It's not your fault.
Far from over, 29-28. Athens Drive leading. First lead since early in the opening quarter.
Well, for Leesville, you've got to maintain your composure here. And Athens Drive really putting it on here in the backcourt. There's going to be some open opportunities. Balligan's past midcourt. Watch this pressure. Try to get the ball to the middle of the court.
You think this defensive pressure won't be even more energized this time around? They've created 2 in a row. Balligan gets behind the defense as the press is broken, waits for Diaby to sail past and then missed it. And we have a couple of players down, a whistle and a foul. The question is, against whom? And it's going to go on Leesville Road.
There wasn't a conversion, but that's how you break the press. Get it to Cronin, and then Balligan was ahead of the defenders. And the contact comes down against Kelly.
That'll be a Balligan called with a foul. She has 4. Cronin has 4. And Leesville Road no longer playing with the lead. Under 4 minutes remaining in regulation. Webster has battled through the cramps, back on the floor. She's calling for it on the opposite side. Instead, Forte driving and scoring.
Excellent drive, good decision. She had the outside shot. She stayed patient, had the lane for an easy 2.
31-28, Balligan takes a tough pass in the interior, and it's taken away by Diaby, knocked out of bounds, and it's Athens Drive basketball again.
Outstanding effort. Another fast break opportunity, active hands. Diaby, such a good rim protector, but there goes down, knocks the ball loose.
The last 4 possessions for Leesville Road, 3 turnovers and a missed layup. Ward pokes it away, recovered by Kelly. Two steals in the last couple of minutes by number 10 in white. Webster dumps it to the inside, a touch to Diaby, the floater is good. The lead is 5 for Athens Drive. They have scored 8 straight. Foul taken by Athens Drive, 2:53 left.
The Jaguars very unselfish in the last possession with the spacing, moving the ball around to create an open mid-range jumper.
Leesville Road has been outscored in this 4th quarter, 10-1. Now trailing by 5. Big possession for Ward and the Pride. Zuberg throws back. Oh, Kelly got her hands on it. Saved by Ward. She's open for 3. Oh, how big is that by the freshman? Mackenzie Kelly gambled. Got a fingernail on the pass, but Ward was able to collect and left unattended for 3.
Exactly what Leesville needed. They needed to stop the run. Plenty of time for Ward to get her feet set, watched it through the net, and now you get the timeout to set up your defense.
How good is she going to be in 2 and 3 years' time? Just a freshman, and keeps Leesville Road in it. Basically rescuing the Pride off of just resuscitating their chances here. Down by 5, a broken pass, still able to get it, and then calmly knocks down a 3.
Well, this timeout break for Leesville Road, their game plan has to be what the Jaguars have done, which is create turnovers with the press. They've got to do the same thing, try to make it uncomfortable. And for Athens here, it's about protecting the basketball. Last couple possessions, you got easy hoops because of unselfish play. The ball movement, moving the ball in the perimeter.
And we'll take a look at the updated numbers for the NC DPS points to paint. Remember, that was 8-8 early in the third quarter. A lot of those 10 points added on for Athens have been in transition on layups thanks to their defense. North Carolina Department of Public Safety, be a champion for victims. 2:31 left, fourth quarter. 33-31, Athens drive up by 2. And it's Jaguars basketball.
Leesville's going to sit back in the zone defense, no pressure. Paris Webster, who had the cramps earlier in the fourth quarter, back here to close out the ball game.
Leesville Road is also over the limit in foul, so Athens drive will shoot the 1-and-1 on the next foul. 1 to give for the Jaguars. Still the zone. Webster exploits on the baseline. Balogun blocks the shot. And the Pride breaking the pressure. A 2 for the tie, a 3 for the lead. Balogun on the inside, blocked away by Diaby again. Denying a point-blank lay-in from Balogun to keep the lead to Athens drive.
Diaby is special talent. She can read it. Here's that pass. Perfect from Zuberg. She timed it up to knock it out of bounds.
2 minutes left. Sammy Ward leads everybody with 18 points. Throws back to Zuberg. Off the screen, dumps it for Balogun, rolling. Oh, bounce shot. Yo! Most froze on the inside of the rim. 2 free throws for Balogun.
Well, the Pride, when they've had their best half-court sets, it's been with the pick and roll. There's Balogun pick, and then she rolls to the hoop. Good entry pass from Zuberg, and she gets the contact.
All right, that is the 4th foul on Kelly. Balogun to the Popeyes free throw line tonight, Jay. She's 0 for 4. These are imperative. Still a 2-point spread. Nerves are frayed on both sidelines. Allison Stevenson. There's Danny Howard. Balogun makes 1 and 2. It's a 1-point game. Athens drive basketball up by 1. And Allison Stevenson screaming at one of the officials for the better part of 5 or 6 seconds, finally recognizing that Allison was asking for a timeout. Loudly, yet politely.
Well, it'll be interesting here in the timeout break. All right, so Athens has possession. Leesville has been in the zone defense. Are they just going to stall here? Is Leesville going to have to come out of the zone and play man-to-man? I think so. And that's what the conversation's going to be about, protecting the basketball, making sure we take a good shot. If we get fouled, you got to make your free throws.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's West Shore home play of the game. Convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. A sequence of 2 plays by Mackenzie Keller.
Yeah, 2 turnovers created. She finished them both off. Forte started this one. And Kelly, easy layup. That was a huge momentum shift for the Jaguars.
It was those 2 plays that turned a deficit into a lead just moments ago. And there she is in the middle of that huddle. Now, Allison Stevenson called a very smart timeout late third quarter. Called her best play now. You're up by 1, calls a timeout here with 1:36 left. You know she's going down that playbook. What do we have with the personnel on the floor that will work against this defense because they need a bucket?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you want to put the ball in Webster's hand and then let her drive and dish and stay patient on this possession, because you got the lead right now, 130, and Leesville now comes out to a man-to-man defense, so switching up their look.
Well, they're really spreading out the floor. Webster attacking against Zuberg, into the lane, a bounce pass, nicely left, and the layup by Diaby for a 3-point lead. And a foul in the backcourt right on the baseline by Forte. Stops the clock with 1:18. And that will also send Leesville Road into the bonus.
For Allison Stevenson, just outstanding job drawing it up. Spread everybody out.
Yep.
Let your best ball handler go to work. The defender came up once she penetrated, and then easy dish off for two with Diaby finishing it.
6 of 10 from the line tonight, Sammy Ward. This is a 1-1. And that's long. Offensive rebound, partially blocked by Diaby, and high points it and throws it ahead to Forte. Athens drive by 3 in possession as we approach 1 minute. Good ball handlers on the floor for the Jaguars. Forte, Kelly, Webster. And a foul against Zuberg will stop the clock with 57 seconds left. Well, we talked late third quarter about the senior representation of this Jaguars team. They have not had the best nights. Forte has struggled shooting most of the game. Webster's imprint has been on the defensive end. And that free throw knocked down. 8 points now for Kelly. And Diaby has only scored 4 points, but she's had multiple blocks, 4 or 5 in the game tonight. The seniors have stepped up in the final 8 minutes. 1 and 2. Rebound to the Pride. 2-possession game inside a minute. Ward rejects the screen. And a whistle and a walk in the lane. Charge against the Pride. 45 seconds left. Now quickly substituting Chris Dannyhauer. He wants Maddie Matog, number 22, in for her size to deny on this full court press against Diaby. Tough pass, a leaping catch by Forte. Up ahead, it's a 2-on-1. Kelly gets it to Torin. Back to the outside, and a smart decision by Kelly not to attempt that shot.
Yeah, they can use the clock here. Leesville's going to have to foul.
Chasing down Torin in the hands of Kelly. Presses, time ticking off. And there's the foul against Cronin. She's done. So back to the free throw line. Already there is Webster. 4-point lead. 36-32 for Athens Drive. So Rivenbark is in. Cronin fouls out. And Paris Webster, who's been dealing with some cramping issues in the second, third, and early fourth quarter of this game, is at the free throw line and maybe put this one away. Calmly knocks down the first. Athens Drive has Cardinal Gibbons on Tuesday, Broughton to close out the regular season. Leesville Road will wrap up next week with Sanderson and then Enlow. 37-32. And now the biggest lead of the game for Athens Drive. Up ahead, Cronin lead pass, too tall for Rivenbark, out of bounds. And with 19 seconds left, it looks like the Athens Drive Jaguars are going to prevail here tonight and set up that big clash on Tuesday with Cardinal Gibbons.
The key's been the defensive effort in the second half, specifically in the fourth quarter. They've created turnovers and they finished on their fast break opportunities.
Well, some contact at the sideline, but travel is the call against Mackenzie Kelly. The Leesville Road with 16 seconds left, down 6. Get a quick 3, a turnover, another 3. A timeout will be taken here. That's how these coaches are thinking of it. Fans may think this one's over, but the coaches on both sides are thinking of all the different ways where they lose, right? The winning coach is thinking about how they lose. The trailing coach thinking about how to come back and steal it, but nobody is ever at all confident in the result until it's over.
Well, you get that 3-point shot, and each team has played such good defense tonight. If you're Leesville, hey, we can get a turnover. I mean, they've done it at a high level tonight, and that's got to be the message But Coach Danny Hauer over on the sideline, instilling confidence into his team, telling them what they need to do first, and then setting up the actions. After you get that initial play, they've got to get that turnover. They've got to do it quickly. If you don't get the turnover, you've got to foul.
We'll look inside the huddle for Athens Drive. 15-6 this year. Their only loss came to Gibbons by 15 points a couple of weeks ago. They will have a shot against Gibbons on Tuesday. Gibbons has won 10 games in a row going into tonight. It'll be a spot throw-in for the Pride off of the sideline. Down by 6. You look for Zuberg, number 1, or look for Ward, number 2. You don't have any time to waste. Here comes Ward into the corner. Pivots, fires a 3, no. Rebound to Torren. We're at 10 seconds. The lead is 6, and one last foul taken by Leesville Road. And their bid for a road upset sprung on Athens Drive is going to come up at just a tad short tonight.
And that was a good look. That's exactly what you want. Find a way to get Ward an open three-point shot. It didn't fall. But they've got to be proud of their effort here. On the road, young team. So many positives they can take from this game.
So Paris Webster, one of the 3 starting seniors for Athens Drive. She came up huge in this second half. Misses the front end. Offensive rebound. It's in the hands of Webster. She'll run away from everybody and dribble it out. And the big title clash set up on Tuesday. Rallying from 9 down. Athens Drive takes down Leesville Road 38-32.
Conference matchups are tough. Every single ball game you're going to get your best. Athens Drive faced a lot of opposition, especially in that first half. They had a deficit they had to overcome, but they found a way because of their defense. Outstanding game from Leesville, but Athens protected their home court.
Jaguars limit Leesville Road to 5 points in that fourth quarter and win it. 38-32 the final. Cardinal Gibbons and Athens Drive for the Cap 6 championship on Tuesday. Post-game show and the trophy presentation when we come back. Athens Drive rallying from 9 down, and the defense clamped down the fourth quarter. Rallying past Leesville Road sets up a huge game in the Cap 6 on Tuesday against Cardinal Gibbons. 38-32 the final. Jay Sohnhalter is with the very happy Athens Drive Jaguar head coach Allison Stevenson.
Coach, that second half, the adjustments you made at the halftime break, what changed for your team in order to get the win?
Well, we are a second half team for sure, so I knew they were going to come out and play as hard as they could the second half. Our seniors stepped up, our leaders stepped up, and we got it done.
In the fourth quarter, a couple possessions, turnovers back-to-back you created, turned into easy opportunities. What did you do on the defensive end to create so much havoc?
We, instead of a full court press, we kind of went to a 3-quarter press, and I told them all game, you know, we're in better shape. Just keep pushing the ball, keep playing hard, keep playing defense, and we'll get some steals eventually, and we did.
Well, a huge win tonight leads into a big game on Tuesday against Cardinal Gibbons. What's that matchup going to look like for you?
So Cardinal Gibbons, they've always been like, we've always finished second to them, so it's always a big game for us. We're here. The girls are ready. We're pumped. So we'll be back at it in the morning to get ready for them.
Well, good luck Tuesday. You protected home court tonight, and I present you with the High School Hoops trophy for the win.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Athens Drive hoping that their moment is now with Cardinal Gibbons looming on Tuesday. Gibbons 7-0 in the league, pending tonight's outcome. And Athens Drive now is 7-1. They'll play for the Cap 6 title Tuesday. 38-32 the final. Athens Drive over Leesville Road. Well, all of us would like to take a minute to thank all the wonderful folks at West Shore Home who make all these games possible for you viewers at home. We'd also like to thank our other great supporters for all of their contributions to high school hoops right here on WRDC. Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. myspot.nc.gov. NC 529. Talk It Out NC, the North Carolina Department of Public Services, Popeyes, and Tatum and Atkinson. We'd also like to take a minute to thank tonight's participating high schools and all of their administrators for their continued support at Leesville Road and right here at Athens Drive Magnet High School. Next Friday, we're back at it on WRDC when the men of Southeast Raleigh take on the Garner Trojans. So for our entire crew and my partner Jay Sohnhalter, Patrick Keenis, wishing you a healthy, happy weekend. We'll see you next Friday from Garner. 38-32, Athens Drive takes down Leesville Road.